Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin made a name. Batmobile, Rascal Wheels, go the yard away. Hey, jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin made a name.
Hey out there, Clicks fans. This is Hunter Smith with Dial H For Heroclix. I gave the boys the week off this week, and I've prepared a special episode for the listeners out there. It's been 25 episodes for us already. Time has absolutely flown by, but it's been a blast. We've met tons of awesome listeners and new friends, and I hope that you guys out there feel the same way. I've prepared for you the funniest moments of Dial H For Heroclix 2013, and I want you guys to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show as I go from episode number 1 back a good over 6 months ago to all the way up to 25 now. Best moments of 2013.
My biggest complaint with HeroClix, well, of course we have all have a lot, but my main one is keywords. And I could literally slap somebody for that new static that just came out. But anyway,
yeah,
they're doing a good job with these figures on keywords so far. I'll give them that. Wolfsbane, I love Wolfsbane, especially in X-Force. Her and Warpath and their whole thing. And God, I love X-Force so much. Yeah, one of these days I'll go on my long rant about how fucking pissed I am that there's no X-Force team base and there's 2 X-Men. And also, I don't want to start
here. Here goes.
That'll be a solo podcast.
Nah, it'll be a 2-hour long solo podcast.
Me and Drew will be sitting over there eating pizza, watching.
Keep an eye out for that coming soon. But okay, if you paid our premium price
there's
for
the
it.
Word collusion.
Yeah.
There it is.
So the main reason I was so upset is we've been to Gen Con multiple times. We've never been to play Clicks. This year, we all got a group of our best, us 3 and Ricky. We got 4-day passes. We are playing a dozen battle royals each, along with all the side tournaments.
It was $300 in tickets alone.
Right, we spent a shit ton of money.
Shit ton.
And now, a week after the tickets are no longer refundable, and we have our plans made out, we've taken off work.
Yeah.
We've made some people travel across the fucking country to go to Gen Con and have already made hotel plans and all this stuff in advance. A couple weeks before the con, you're going to tell us that what you've told us multiple times now is not going to be the case? That's fucking bullshit. And matter of fact, I keep saying this, I'm telling you, it's illegal. It is a bait and switch. That is the definition of bait and switch. You look in Webster's dictionary, and it has a fucking picture of the logo of WizKids, and it says, see WizKids.
Okay. That's what really...
Except for 1 or 2 or 3 people who think they're the most elite people in the world and everybody should have to compete for a con, and there's no... They should change, whatever.
And a lot of
we'll get into that anyways. So, basically, this thread is the most popular thread I have ever seen on Realms in my life.
Huge.
Way beyond more popular. Everybody's chiming in on this thread. And they will not answer any questions, give any explanations of why are we paying you triple what a fucking super booster costs. And if you're changing this to prevent collusion, then why are you giving this the fucking opportunity to collude?
For more money.
You're saying it's okay to collude if we pay for it. So, eventually enough people posted and enough stink got put up that enough hell was raised that they said, okay, here's how we're going to fix it. If you registered for your cons, or for your battle royales, then you will be allowed to play with your friends, and if you're paying with generic tickets, then you're going to be put in the randomized line. Now, why does that suck for us, Drew?
Well, let me tell you, Hunter. We decided to buy a shitload of generics.
And for good reason.
Because we're in so many fucking side tourneys, we don't know when we're going to get done.
And we cannot be the only ones who are doing side tourneys and battle royals.
And
I don't know, Hunter.
That got brought up in the thread a lot. There were a lot of people in the thread. I would warrant to say the vast majority of people that were mad about that news were because they were generic people. Because we don't know how much time we're going to have between tournaments. We could do shitty in a tournament, and I could decide to go do a random battle royale without you guys if I really wanted to.
Right,
and I could go drop the tournament. Yeah, if I have the time to. And there's no guarantee we're all going to be playing together. There's no guarantee any of that. But when we do play together, we want to play together. And they told us we could, or we wouldn't have bought those tickets.
Exactly.
And I think that's what it comes down to, and that's where it becomes bait and switch, is we would not have bought those tickets in that volume had we known that we wouldn't be able to play together.
And it would be fine if we were allowed to refund them, but you're waiting until after they're refundable. Or we can refund them, but we have to go to the booth. Yeah, we have to go to the booth while we're at the con and wanting to do fun stuff and stand in line for 3 hours and then lose 5% back on all the...
And it's only system credit, so it can only go towards tickets.
And I was like, ooh, I went 2-0 and swept both teams. I might have a chance at getting that Superboy Prime. But like I said, I still only got third.
10 to 20 points.
Yeah, I was only missing like 20 points, or like 17 points or something.
Someone undercosted their team by like 50
So I still
points.
didn't get it. But I went home with another Trigon, which is hilarious because when Teen Titans first came out, like I know Teen Titans is a set that most people weren't excited about at all, but I was super excited because I'm a really big Teen Titans fan. A DC fan overall, but especially Teen Titans. And so when the Super Boosters came out, I got a pretty good deal on them, and I bought 9 total and pulled 7 Trigons and 2 new Teen Titans.
So, Hunter, I have a question for you. Would you say that
I just got rid of them.
Your Super Boosters had you seeing red?
My Super Boosters had me seeing red.
He was really mad.
So I thought it was hilarious that the best option for me to choose on these prizes that week was a Trigon. I was like, I just can't get away from this guy.
Mine was Gordana.
Hunter Smith. You just read it. Okay.
I forgot we didn't talk about
It was so good.
Let's talk about this real fast. Spoilers, if you have not read Justice League 22.
Or Pandora #1. If you haven't, you should go read it.
I'm going to curse right now. What the fuck, Superman? What did Dr. Light ever do to you?
You know, it's really... I was going to talk about that at some point. I don't like how they're casting Dr. Light right now. He's always been a butthole.
He's an ass.
They're like,
If you read New Teen Titans and you read Dr. Light, he's always a bad guy. He's always this whacked out old man who's trying to kill everybody, and now they're trying to make him like you. They're trying to make you like him.
Well, they did a good job because Superman just melted his fucking...
See, I read him in Teen Titans for so long.
That goes with them. They're like ham and potatoes. They're delicious. They're just so tasty.
Like Fiesta and potatoes.
I ordered a burrito, damn it.
We were joking 5 minutes ago, and we were getting Taco Bell, and my fiance is trying to tell me what she wants, and I swear, I made a joke, but it actually turned out to be a pretty accurate statement, that everything at Taco Bell has 3 words in its name, and you pick out of 5 words: cheesy,
Beefy,
steak,
potato.
beefy, griller, or Fiesta. Like, it's all.
Could
It's
you
all
form
the
a
same.
theme team with these sports?
They're
Perhaps a theme team meal deal. Taco Bell, if you're listening, I got you back.
So, anyways, it's true. Next time you go to Taco Bell, look at the drive-thru. Everything has one
make
of
up
those.
something.
3 of
Any
those words.
combination. I want a cheesy steak burrito. It's there.
It's there. Fiesta burrito.
Fiesta potato burrito.
Fiesta potato burrito. I guarantee you that's a real thing. Anyway, sorry, where were we?
I played Guy Gardner.
Guy Godna's pretty dang
I
good.
know how depressed you are at the lack of an X-Force team base.
I'm trying to avoid that subject on, when we went on our Gen Con rant, that's when all the cursing happened. I really don't want
You know
to.
what? I wish we had like 50 more X-Men related team bases, but there's one specific one I think Hunter really wanted that he's going to like cry over. What do you think it could be?
X-Force.
Now, Madrox looks pretty.
Oh, I was going to say his
It's got an
skull.
awesome trench coat action going on here.
I, for one, can never get tired of figures in trench coats.
Plus, you're getting your Gambit in a trench coat. They could have put Rogue in a trench coat. She
Look
wear
at
Jubilee.
everybody. I told you
Everybody used to wear a
Rachel
trench
Summers in a
coat.
trench coat.
Put Sabretooth in a trench coat and I will just cream my pants.
These are like, they did a lot
These
of
are
like,
even big.
This is the
semi-trans.
Imperial.
Although, what is this purple?
That's where he
That-
probably snaps on.
It looks like a butthole. Look at it. It looks like an anus. There's a purple anus.
Nightcrawler's anus there.
Purple anus
That's
effect
where
there on the front.
Lockheed probably sits with like a little poof behind him.
It could be representing Nightcrawler teleporting,
Actually, yes. That
like
does
from
make
there to the back of the team base.
sense. See, I wasn't kidding when I said it was Nightcrawler's anus.
So-
I spend so much time trying to
Oh,
clean
goodness.
up the HeroClix.
I don't know what you're talking
And we end
about.
up with discussing
This
anuses.
this
podcast will forever remain the way it is, and that's just how it's going to be. So just deal with it.
You're never going to change me, kids.
All right. So
Speaking of Leonard Skinner, Hunter,
so real.
It's a duo.
Duo? I haven't seen
that
anything for
is
that.
sick.
Yeah, it's them back
Huh.
to back.
Yes.
Wait, is that Silver Samurai?
Wait, what?
Hold on. Go back.
Wrong one.
Wrong one. Where's it at? Is that Silver Samurai?
That is
Silver.
Oh.
done.
It looks like he has the Hydra TA.
Yeah.
Oh my.
He's 100 points. Drew's pretty happy
That
right
sculpt's
now.
pretty sick too.
I'm pretty happy.
Drew's hiding his boner right now.
It's there.
Just keep it hidden. That's enough for our top threes. Danzig01 on Realms sent us an email and sent me a PM, and I wanted to read his email because I feel he perfectly summarizes this show. He says, first of all, I'd like to say thanks for the podcast. I like the feel of it. It's like sitting down and shooting the shit about HeroClix with friends. If only Drew would pass me a beer and a slice of pizza, it would be perfect.
I love you, dude.
He gets the vibe. That's the vibe that we're going for. You know, you may not like the cursing here or there, and you may not like that the podcast runs long, and you may not like the comic section, or you may not like the comic movie discussion or the video game discussion. But this is just us winding down at the end of our week of clicks and just shooting
It's
the
nice
shit.
to vent it all too. Like,
And we just want you guys to join in, but we also want to do that. But we also want to promote and grow the community locally and online. You know, there's not a lot of Clicks podcasts, especially weekly ones.
Yeah.
We're pretty much the only weekly one. He says, now on to what I'd like
Who
to.
do you think the fifth character is going to be in the next one?
It's gonna be me.
It's going to be Cyber Dan
It's not going to be Cyber Dan.
with rocket knees. He's going
Why
to.
don't you just throw a slot out of the trash?
It's going to be Scorpion. It's always Scorpion.
It's always-
The DLC character is
Oh, man,
always
did you
Scorpion.
see the Injustice stuff? Like, they've
Who did
been
they-
talking about. What was it they posted? They posted like a picture that was kind of fuzzy that had like all the characters for the next pack.
I would like to see Booster Gold myself.
Or
Blue Beetle.
This
I would
guy.
like to see. I don't know. I want to see a Red Hood, but I think we were oversaturated on Batman.
Good.
I would like to see Red Hood
Oh.
myself, but I don't think anybody else wants to see him.
They're doing a
Any more Batman.
reskin. They're doing a reskin of Damian as Nightwing. They're doing something else with him. I can't remember what it
Put
was.
Swamp Thing in.
Animal Man.
I want John
Animal Man,
Constantine in Injustice.
What the freak?
Get out of here. Get
What
out
would
of
he do? Sit there and talk shit in a trench coat?
Yeah.
Get out of this room.
He would have his opponent search his pockets, and when they open it, kaboom! Everyone would blow up, and you'd win.
Oh my gosh.
He's
All right, moving on.
Oh, Deathlock, real quick. Another X-Force piece that I was wanting that we got Deathlock and Deathlock Prime.
I do want to point out, when they spoiled the basic Deathlock, the first look on everyone's face is like, wow, that's kind of meh.
Manhunter, the only thing they're missing is a team base.
Some sort of X-Force or...
Guys, look, we've already had this discussion. The people don't want to hear me spout the F word every 2 seconds.
You know what'd be really cool is if Phantom X's asset dial gave him some sort of cool mind control power.
Never gonna let him live it down, folks.
And I advise everyone else to do the same.
You see Hunter at Gen Con, let him know about that X-Force team base.
So Hunter, if you win Worlds, you're going to design an X-Force team base.
I wonder if they would let you do that, if you could design your own team.
Well, Hunter just entered Worlds.
Whoever wins Worlds, just ask him. I don't even care if you make one.
He does, he's lying. No one knows that. He wants you to make an X-Force team base.
If you make an X-Force team base, I'll do some things to you that I cannot mention on the air. Okay, I finally got him pulled up big enough for... What's he got there, Drew?
What does he have? He might have Weapon X. At the beginning of the...
This makes for some good radio.
That's not cool.
His last 2 clicks, he can use Region as a...
Yeah.
Venom icons on him.
I'm assuming it's going to be Venom, but maybe it's something else. And we will get that sorted out, and I'll get them shipped to you, made and shipped to you, hopefully before Gen Con. I can get them done. Speaking of which, we're not going to be recording next you will not get a podcast on Sunday because we will be at Gen Con. We may try to just do a quick one on Monday or Tuesday, just a quick and dirty recap, nothing.
Quick and dirty.
Just a quickie. Just a quickie, not
Is
even.
that what we're gonna call the just the tip?
Not even just the tip. We're just diving right into the main stuff. No teasing, no warm up. We may do that on like a Monday or a Tuesday. I'll probably get it up on Tuesday. Yeah, we're gonna be wore out, but I don't want. I think it'll be the biggest set, biggest selling set.
Definitely. Invincible Iron Man,
I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I just want to see how
My pants are off right now.
I want to see what they...
So, I've been talking, or kind of going back and forth, messing with the guys that Push to Regen, because we were already talking to them on Twitter, and then they had mentioned that they liked the podcast, and I'd mentioned that I listened to theirs, which theirs is bi-weekly. So every couple weeks, and then after we did the community question, like the same night, Push the Region's like, well, I'm totally going to steal this from Dial H For Heroclix and ask, what's your this week's community question? What's your favorite figure you want out of Iron Man?
I like that question much better.
And shut up. And so we were going back and forth, just messing with them. And then Austin gave us the bright idea that we should call their voicemail on their podcast, and we should mess with them. So we're going to call them live. And this probably won't work out. They probably got the wrong number or something. And we're just going to just totally F with them just for fun.
Can I ask it?
Let's see if...
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to reach. Push to Regen.
Hi, Dial H. If a Clicks player tosses his dice at 2 point... Oh, never mind.
Here, I'll give the intro and you can ask a question.
Shut up. In before we get some guy's house or something.
Like he is dead.
I was in the middle of beating my wife, and now I gotta get...
The fuck is Push to Regen? This some kind of prank?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for calling the Push to Regen voicemail. Go ahead and tell us about any tournaments you guys have been playing in lately, or any news or questions you might have for the show. Thanks for calling. Bye.
Hey guys, this is Hunter and the Dial H crew. Say hi, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
We wanted to call and ask you a very serious question. We're prepping for Gen Con, and we are trying to get all our ducks in a row so we can win. And we figured who best to ask than the guys over at Push the Regen. So Austin, he has a very overbearing question.
Okay, so if a Clicks player tosses his dice at 2.8 meters per second towards the table with a tilt of 40 degrees on one and 84 on the other, with the center mass starting with 6s up on both, what's the likelihood to be able to hit an 8 or higher on a Justice League team base with a Centroid on click 4 when the Justice League team base is on click 9?
This is very important to Austin's meta. Just want to throw that out there that if he wins that Old Man Logan that he wants so bad, it will be all thanks to you. And if he loses and he doesn't get it, his tears will be on your hands. His blood will be on your hands.
He's got a poster on his wall.
Hit us up, guys. Later. All right, I think that went pretty well.
Considering how badly I felt.
I thought we were going to get some dude's Craigslist ad. Yeah, you reply to my section.
Single white female, that's me. Anyway, that was probably horrible radio. Let's move in. People also have been saying they hope they see us at Gen Con. We'll all four of us here will be there. All 4 days, open to close. We're gonna be tired as hell. But yeah, if you recognize our voice or something, come up and say hi. I'm the tall, buff, handsome, probably the most handsome guy in the room.
I'm gonna stab you.
I've got a ponytail. I guess not very many people are tall with ponytails. I'm the tall guy with ponytail. If you see me, come talk to us, all of us.
And I was going to say, actually, I'm really happy because Wednesday, someone was like, "Are you Austin from the podcast?" I was like, "Yeah!"
Yeah, Austin is a big shot now. I don't know if everybody's aware of this.
Woo!
Because
Obviously,
his voice got recognized at a local venue.
I guess because I talk so much. But
So now he's a big shot.
I'll be dressed as Joel from The Last of Us on Thursday, and then the other day I'm just going to be dressed as Ricky. So
that Ricky costume's a good one, man.
I don't know how to describe myself.
You're Andrew.
Disappointing? Look for the most disappointing guy there.
The guy who's crying in the corner.
Who's saying he never wants to play HeroClix again after
If you hear the words, I'm gonna curse. This game is so fucking stupid, I'm out. That's probably me.
No, if you hear somebody say that on turn 2, it's Drew.
If Drew says I forfeit, no, I'm kidding. We know you're against the right Drew.
He's like, no, I forfeit. No, I'm kidding. No, it's over. No, I'm just kidding. Here, I'll play
Clear.
And then I somehow end up winning anyway, I don't know.
Let's move on to comics. That's enough community for today. Hey there, kiddies. Welcome to episode...
God, Drew's dead!
Welcome to episode 6 of Dial H For Heroclix. I'm your host, Hunter Smith.
And I'm Austin Smith.
It's just the two of us here. It's like that old Will Smith song.
I'm not even going to start that.
Drew is working,
Dead.
like a typical loser.
Dead.
And we are... Like we said, overall we had an excellent time. We got the majority of, like most of us got all the con exclusives.
I'm sorry, thanks for leaving most of us.
When we were... I was trying not to specify you.
No, Thursday night, these assholes the whole way home drilled me because I lost both my first tournaments and didn't place top 50%.
Thursday and Friday we kicked butt. I won a tournament. I had like one of each. Ricky had one, had gotten a con in each, and Drew had gotten a con in each, and Austin had 0. And we
so I'm sitting in
were rubbing it in so hard.
Sitting in the SUV the whole drive home, and I'm just dead silent. And they're all, and Drew's like,
I'm up all night to get cons. I'm up all night to
Drew's
get
like,
cons.
hey Austin, how many cons did you win tonight? Oh yeah, none. And I'm like, Drew, I swear I'm going to throw you out this truck if you don't shut up. There's a relatively, I don't want to say newer player, but newer compared to like us.
Yeah, actually, Holiday Elf is the one even though I'm a huge Batman fan, I want Holiday Elf more than I want the other ones because he's the best by far.
To flip them.
If you win one of these, you're selling it to me.
That white letter Batman's going on my
You're
shelf.
selling it to me, and you're not selling it at shark prices. You're selling it at friend prices.
That depends what's in it for me, buddy.
This bastard.
That Zatanna, I've played her a few times. Like, that figure is just really good for her points, and she's got a great set of abilities down her dial.
A great set of what?
Abilities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that too.
Oh man, we saw a Zatanna cosplay at Gen Con.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, oh Pete's, man.
I'm not even getting into the cosplay.
Good
We're just going to
God.
move on to the next thing.
Alright, that's going to wrap us up on that note. We're That music can only mean one thing, Austin.
I don't know, did we perform some sort of occult ritual and bring Drewster back from the dead?
By the hoary whores of Hoggoth. By the balls of Balsack.
Balthazar, whatever the hell.
There's a lot of whores there.
Drew has risen from the dead. He's back with us this week. Welcome to episode...
I ran a Monkey King to carry Heimdall up, and the Asgardian Troll. So, my first round was who was my first round? Dear God, I've completely forgotten. Oh well. I went up against a big Bertha at the end, and it was a mess. Like, Bertha, don't sleep on that Bertha, people. I'm warning you now.
Don't sleep with the Bertha either.
Don't sleep with the Bertha either.
Don't get near her.
She's got her own gravitational pull. You won't get out. But she,
You get 6 custom poker chip action token markers that I've been making, and everybody loves these things. Austin keeps trying to steal my Deathstroke ones I just
I
made.
don't know what you're talking about. They're not missing off your desk right now.
The pressure is on.
Wait, where are they? Check his pockets real quick.
You get your hand out of my pocket, Drew.
Pat him down.
You haven't paid me.
The build rules for the...
It's just...
I personally feel they thought about delaying it further, heard the outcry, and I think they might have just rushed it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And like as we were talking about, the problems we're seeing are consistent. So like Iceman in a brick, I've seen that problem reported on Realms before too. So I'm wondering if it's like when they're rushed, like they put the wrong mold in or whatever, and it just ended up putting an Iceman in every freaking 10th brick or whatever.
quality control.
I'm thinking there was a gas leak in the little Chinese factory where the kids were making these. And
The poor derpy face painter guy.
Oh, God.
Disambiguation. Or that.
Let's move real quick while I'm looking up Forge. Let's talk about Gambit.
The one comic I haven't read.
You haven't read Gambit?
I still haven't picked up Gambit because I always forget it exists.
You have a poster of him on your wall, like
posing in
half
lingerie.
nude. Oh, jeez.
Gambit is actually. Would you play? So Austin played the same team as the winner from Dragon Con.
I saw that team.
Drew has not let him live it down since he declared that he was going to play it after it won at Gen Con or Dragon Con. Go ahead, Austin.
I saw that team and I was like, of all the meta teams that I really wanted to try, like that was the one I wanted to try. Drew, I'm going to punch you in the face. Anyway.
I'm sure if the bystander token team would have won, Drew would have played that team instead.
No, actually, I probably still would have picked New Mutants.
Yeah, anyway, let's let him.
Anyway,
continue.
What makes the
problem is Ghost Rider took him from being mostly ranged and support to smacking people in the face. Drew, you want to talk about martial artists? One of my favorites.
Sure, dude. How about that Fear Itself? I mean, Fear Itself,
Iron Fist.
He's pretty much the only piece that matters, so...
That's true.
talk like a full team of him.
I don't know why we would talk... If you've ever listened to our podcast, just go back. You can skip to any point in the podcast. It'll be... This Fear Itself, I'm gay for the time.
Every 1 minute mark.
Hey, Austin, what'd you run for the Fear Itself this week? You had 4 Iron Fists. You just showed up in my path.
There's been multiple ones where I've ran 2 with my seal. Yeah.
I've seriously pulled him every single time we played.
We've already talked about how good he is.
Yeah.
They're just not enjoyable like that. I want them to have cool traits. I want them to be able to support and be a member of my team build. They shouldn't be my literal team build.
Let's move into Just a Tip. Today's is kind of a very small and specific one, but I feel like it's one that everybody forgets and is honestly. I fell in love with that first trade, man. It's just like it's so interesting, man.
It's good.
Is
And
this the next book you guys are going to beat me over there with?
No, it's just a solid, really good book.
Other people get to talk.
I'm just saying. Hey, you never put your finger.
What are you guys talking about over there?
What?
Putting fingers where?
Anyway.
Let's keep this.
Who's the guy on the current run of Hawkeye?
Let's keep this rated G.
Oh,
that is a good question because that is some cool.
And they throw you on, let's say, Realm of Death. They just keep moving the portal up and hypersonic punching you every turn over and over, and it really isn't fun to play again.
She definitely does get exponentially better as the point cost of your as the point build goes up. And like we said when they first spoiled her, everybody was the freaking HeroClix Holocaust was happening on HC Realms, and I think we kind of preemptively. I said, I think she's too expensive to be on the winning team at Gen Con. She's in the 300 point meta, but as it goes up, as a point.
Just so that you can keep shooting stuff. So.
It's good, too, because I was getting bored of actually, strategizing and stuff, so.
I had this problem about thinking. I didn't like doing it.
I'm glad they prepackaged my team in a box for me so that I don't have to build my team anymore.
It tells you how to get inside of your opponent's head. And I would say the one thing I respect about your show is that you're able to bridge between that starting beginner player to like what I do. Like I kid you not, I have tried so hard, like, well, let me try to take this to the basic core root and make it fun, and then I'm just bad at that, and just really bad. And you have guys like you and Push to Regen and Glass Cabinet. It's like, hey, y'all, you're able to give the basics really good, and then when you get to a certain point, it's like, all right, what's next? And it's like, check with their head. That's what's next. How do I make this better? That's what's next,
yeah.
And then you come to my podcast. And
Yeah, Bunker's one of my faves.
You'll have a blast playing Bunker. I definitely would be remiss if I didn't mention my absolute favorite piece of all time, DC 75th Anniversary Beast Boy.
Yeah.
I can't talk enough about this Beast Boy. Of course, if you pick this guy up, you're going to want to pick up all the other Beast Boys, at least the main ones. But I'll talk about this guy. He's only going to run you like $2. 60 points, Outsiders and Teen Titans, with a shape change and 17 with reflexes top dial. So basically he's a tie-up piece at first with Outsiders as well. So if you run up on a close combat expert person, you can Outsiders them, and now they can't get any bonus trying to hit your 19 defense with shape change.
Yep.
But really why you want to play him is he's not even a Swiss Army knife. He's the whole damn toolbox. I mean, you're carrying your Craftsman tool heavy. You're pushing around one of those giant red Craftsman toolboxes when you play a Beast Boy. That's why I love him.
He's good.
Because I bring all my little Beast Boys out and I put them on the click that they would be, and I'm like, which situation do I need? Oh, I only have like a dozen options. Shucks.
Oh, darn. And he ended up killing their last piece, I think, and ended up winning me the game.
Nice.
So Damon Hellstrom, if you ever sleep on Damon Hellstrom, despite the fact I have 20 of them, and I will always sleep on Damon Hellstrom.
I've stepped on a few Damon Hellstroms.
I just have too many.
Every person, I think you get like 3 per Spidey booster.
It's the standard rate.
It's like standard, like they just throw 3 extra Damon Hellstroms in there on every Spidey booster.
Like, you thought the print run Wolverine and the X-Men was bad.
You also play. Keep an ear out and keep an eye out on the HG Realms for that one.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We had one email, and the question was, speaking to me, why do you and Drew always pick on and mistreat Austin?
Okay.
The reason I love Austin, if you haven't noticed, Hunter Smith, Austin Smith, yeah, we're related. He's my cousin, and he and his brothers, he has 2 brothers, all the same. We're all the same age. I was the oldest grandkid, and they are literally like brothers to me. Like, I think of them as absolute brothers, and that's why I pick on him, is because I love him. And he's just so damn easy to pick on, too.
Oh my gosh. All right. Let me start this off by saying I've known Austin Smith for a significant chunk of my life. He's been my friend since high school. He's always been a good guy, but that does not mean I can't give him shit. That does not mean that it... I'm just saying, he gives me a ton of crap. You guys don't see it because I mostly do it on the podcast, and he tends to be a bit more reserved about it. But...
yeah, he likes to behave himself on the podcast and act like he's a nice kid and everything, you know?
Yeah, but...
tries to speak all proper and be nice and let you kind of interrupt him without retaliating. That's not really what he's like in real life.
You don't know the truth.
No, we don't do it maliciously. I love Austin.
Yeah.
Like, Austin is my brother, and his brothers are also my brother. We're family.
If I didn't like Austin, I would not talk.
Absolutely. And like I said, he's just fun to pick on anyways. Like, he's one of those people. My little brother's like that too. Like, I love picking on family members. It's just fun. No malice there.
Yeah, seriously.
It's all love.
And he stops people from getting in on Thanos to melee. And then Killian to give Thanos the ability to ignore hindering and sharpshooter. And then Gamma Bomb, so you force your opponents to move at you. Thanos is throwing damage downrange at 12. And then you have Heimdall stopping people that come in, and Killian just freaking buffing.
Yeah, I didn't want to play against that team because I hate the Gamma Bomb so much.
Really? I couldn't tell.
I just want to note that Austin and I both had 5 points left on our teams, and I chose not to use the Gamma Bomb, and he did. So if that tells you anything about what kind of guy Mr. Austin Smith
is. It tells you that I'm very efficient with my points, and I choose to use every last damn one of them.
Okay.
Oh, you're just a dick.
Drew and I disagree.
I disagree.
No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't know this was a democracy.
Anyways, so far, we will each be giving each individual round a score, and we will be adding those. So if you get all 10s from us, you'll have a 30.
See, I'm just mad.
And that's for each round. So the maximum you could get for the first 3 would be a 90 if you got 10s on all 3 from all 3 of us.
So that'll give a little bit more diversity in the score possibilities, and then you'll be getting graded again on the team base.
I just like how you said behind the scenes. Like, whoever gives us the most money probably going to win this contest.
I was about to say, I'm mad because I swear Swagnito listens to this podcast and takes notes.
He
and every
mitigates.
time we name drop something we love, he ends up doing a dial for it. I'm like, you bastard.
He's a metagamer, that one. You gotta watch him.
I'm really, honestly, like, I haven't...
Oh, man.
So,
There's going to be some screwed up love triangles up
so let me give an example. You could run Cable, Jean, and Cyclops. They're all either blood relatives or spouses. You know what I mean? Like, like Scott and Jean are, man and girl. I don't remember if they. I can't. I don't think they ever. I was gonna say I don't think they ever got married, but they had sex. They had a kid together.
As long as you put it in at one time.
But they're blood relatives.
Do they get bonus points for incestuous relationships?
God damn it.
God, I know we don't keep it G or anything, but let's keep it, like, taller.
You're the one who named the build All in the Family, buddy. Alright?
Or other Batman options.
Oh no, Detective Comics might not survive.
There's still supposedly quite a few more. We should be getting some. I think next week DC's going to announce some titles, if I recall.
If Shazam's not one of them, DC, we're gonna
God.
We're gonna go have a talk.
Burn down DC headquarters.
We should for real, like, write them letters,
be
furious letters of why is there no Shazam?
No, what we do is we take paper and we scratch out like the Shazam symbol on them, and then we just mail thousands of them to them.
At least 5. Maybe 6, 7, 8 of these podcasts. How many times have we talked about?
I thought it was a weekly segment.
It is pretty much a weekly. DC, we have a weekly segment dedicated. Give Shazam his own book.
This is called comics, or I thought this was called Shazam Time.
Shazam Time with Hunter and Andrew.
Oh, I see. I get left out of
That's damn straight, you know.
Hey there, Clicks fans. Welcome to episode 14 of Dial H For Heroclix. I'm your host, Hunter Smith.
This is a funky, fresh episode already, right?
We getting funky. We getting fresh with me today. I got Andrew Disco Fever Alderson.
That's what they call me.
Austin, he's just plain Austin Smith.
Nothing interesting about him, I'll tell you what.
His favorite ice cream flavor is vanilla.
It's bullcrap and strawberry.
Today we... How's your week, guys?
That's good.
It was horrible.
Every
event I played in this week has been
Austin's
terrible.
bummed out because he got the crap kicked out of him today.
Well,
not just today, it's been all week.
Notice I used the word crap and I did not curse. Why is that?
It's because today's a very special edition of Dial H For Heroclix, which where Hunter here is going to get plastered and he's going to take a shot every time we swear.
So I have here some Jim Beam because I'm a man and I only drink whiskey or bourbon. I do not drink beer, and I don't really like anything else. And I've had a migraine and a half like all day long, and so they were like, "Well, you can take some aspirin before we do the podcast." I was like, "A real man's medicine."
A real drunk man's medicine.
It was a shot of Makers or a shot of Jack. I have some Red Stag Jim Beam here.
Hey.
They're just smacking the piss out of people.
Every turn.
All game long.
Hey, Hunter.
What?
Smacking the piss out of people.
Piss is not a cuss word.
Piss is a cuss word.
Give me that shit.
Nope.
Oh,
Oh, I love this podcast.
I'm only drinking for shit. I'm not drinking for piss.
Does that count as another one?
No, it doesn't. Shut the hell
Because
up.
piss is not a cuss word.
Okay. They have a special damage power. They could use Blade's Claws thing.
One big important news, well, not really news, just kind of a spoiler that got spoiled, is the final pieces for the month 6 of Feared Self.
And they are gonna be...
They're god-dang ridiculous, okay? First of all, both the hammers
Just swear. Just
No,
get it out of your
I just sweared a minute ago. I said shit. First of all, there's 2 hammers, both of which are stupidly good for their points.
Retardedly good.
Null's hammer gives you running shot and willpower. Are you 3 points for willpower?
I know what you're talking about.
And +2 attack and running shot.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
That's a good idea.
Yep.
That's
So now if you think about it, kids, you thought it was already pretty dang cheap to pay 10 points and get the utility belt and give yourself willpower. Now you can pay 9 points for a book and a 3-point hammer, and not only do you get willpower for those 9 points, you get +2 attack and running shot. Really?
But
We needed that.
You have to be 5 squares out at least.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, darn.
It slowed me down 1 turn to get +2 attack for the rest of the
Hey,
game.
in the current meta game where games last 2
And running
turns.
shot. Anger's hammer.
No. I like the set. It's going to depend on what else kind of rounds out the set of how much I'll buy. But I'll buy some 2 towers, of course, because mounts are awesome. That's a freaking cool mechanic they're doing there.
Yeah, you will.
You're used to getting them. This guy.
Anyways.
That counts as vulgarity. Take a shot.
Take a wild guess as to what the rest of them get stronger. That's how it should work. I like it. It's going to be a little confusing when you first start using it as far as players are. I'm going to have so many people asking
We're going to
me,
be wanting to strangle new players.
how many points is it going to cost for me to play this, and this? And I'm not going to know myself. I'm going to have to reread the card a million times and make sure I'm getting it right.
It's 3 points per shard.
It's gonna be a
3
pain.
points per character. Up to 5 of each.
But you can run more shards than characters, but you can't run more characters than shards. The shit's gonna be, god dang it, mother.
It's funny because it gets more frequent as the night goes on, because as he gets drunker, he swears more often.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, god dang it.
We definitely got to do a drunken podcast with Ricky.
That's 2 for you guys. Ricky would have passed out by now.
He'd be on the floor back there.
He'd be like, whoa, your ceiling looks like fireworks.
Ricky would have crapped on my floor. He would have ran out of here butt naked. And he'd be doing laps around my apartment building.
So I don't know why this is a bad thing. Why don't you want to do this?
Yeah, heck of a podcast, let me tell you what.
You guys are cleaning up afterwards. If
We'll put a mic on, we'll put a wireless headset on him, so that way when he's running around your apartment complex, he can be controlled.
So what was I talking about before I cussed twice in a row?
Explaining it to players.
Yes, that's going to be a pain.
I'll tell you it's bad.
Drew will shit talking and not one.
One more.
One last shot for the road.
I thought you weren't driving.
By the way, Hunter's not driving. We're at his house.
I'm totally driving.
I'm a better driver when I'm driving, promise.
No, I'm just kidding. We do not condone drunk driving ever.
No, we do not.
Unless it's a bicycle, then it's hilarious.
Unless it's a unicycle, then it's absolutely hilarious.
A moped is where we draw the line.
I guess.
Anyway, we also follow us on Twitter. We gained a lot of Twitter followers this week. Let's get the Twitter going, guys.
We had like how many?
I did a lot of Twitter work this week.
We had so many listens on our.
I did a lot of twerking week of this work.
Well, no wonder we had so many listeners.
I put up gifs of me in a thong, doing a little twerking.
I could do without all these images.
No, we guys suggest us on Twitter to we like to get some more followers. We're trying to become a more popular podcast. We have been growing at an absolutely exponential rate. At this point, we're going to surpass all goals and expectations.
At this point, we're going to give up the contest if we keep getting this many entries.
I know. I can't. My poor hands are crippled from making so many custom poker chips by this point.
We're going to have to hire more people to play teams from the best people.
We really, really appreciate all our listeners and putting up with this for 2.5 hours every week. And for some reason you enjoy it. God knows why.
We're terrible.
But you tune in every week, and we really do appreciate you guys. We love talking to you guys on Dial Designs and Best Builds and through emails, and even just appreciate you guys listening and joining the HeroClix community. More like a family.
Yeah, we're more
It
like
really is like a family. I just want to take a moment to
and
say
you're
we
like the
appreciate you
drunken
guys.
uncle that slurs his
Drunken
words
uncle.
But
quickly.
it's and like
It's
I said,
like
it's
those
a,
kids locked them in the closet and
Yeah.
said, "Fix these figures, or you're not coming out."
it's a good sign of things. I mean, you know, we had a discussion on Facebook about it, and I got a little perturbed at comments of, and again, it's an opinion thing. It's fine if that's your opinion that you don't like erratas or you don't like this and that, and
You're welcome to your opinion,
You're welcome
even if
to-
it's wrong.
Exactly. That's a Hunter, that's a Dial H for Heroclix Hunter Smith quote.
Yep.
You're welcome to an opinion, even if it's wrong.
And, you know, this team was really good. Second round, I went up against the Animal Team, as I said. And you got insanely on. Third round, I went up against Heroes for Hire, so I'm like, well, I guess this is a meta tournament that I'm playing Obnoxio. I almost won. I got a couple misses that really, you know, I swear to God, guy went through like 8 theme team props somehow, but I ain't gonna go. I'm not gonna get messy.
Was that English?
That was Drew speak.
Yeah. They proceed to read his card for 15 minutes. But, you know. No.
So the winner was One Way from HG Realms.
Got your back one way.
I'll be getting a hold of you and see what kind of tokens you want.
Hey, huh? One way. That path, the one way to victory. Because we won. Me and one way.
So what's that put the total on for best build? That was our third one?
Yeah, I've won 2.
You've won 2. I won 1.
Oh, well, I wonder who here hasn't won it of it.
You know what though? The two that you won, I think were 2 of my worst luck days I've ever had in my life. Those are the only 2 days of my life I've ever went 1 and 2 at tournaments was during our best build. So it's not good luck for us to do. I don't look forward to best build day anymore. We'll say that.
Everyone figure itself. I don't care about you guys and your measly best build wins.
Let's see what happens next
One
week.
way send me a serpent, so
you can rub it in. Well, Hunter, what's it like being me and you have serpents in
Nobody's rubbing any serpents in anybody's face.
This is a straight podcast.
Well, I'm out.
Let's get out of this subject and move into some Just a Tip, which is totally not just as homoerotic. I have 3 important questions that come to my mind.
Okay.
One is, how hot is Sif on a scale of 1 to 10?
10.
9.5.
Oh, shit. Because Sif is one of those characters that I've always been, like, superly attracted to.
My only issue is
They're actually in talks to make her Wonder Woman.
Oh, my God. I think I just came. Go get me some Kleenex.
I wish she had gotten... Like, she gets a lot of screen time in the movie.
Yeah.
But I kind of expected her to get a little
The Warriors 3 got a lot more
the Warriors 3
screen
are
time.
awesome in this movie.
And except Hogan, you don't even get to see Hogan at all. It's hilarious because... you'll see. But
Don't spoil anything.
It's not really a spoiler. Hogan just kind of, like, goes
Hogan-
off on his own at the beginning and you
Yeah.
never see him again.
yeah.
Okay, second question.
Uh-huh.
Is Heimdall still, like, a mega best?
Yes!
Heimdall's huge in this movie.
Yes!
I love Heimdall and the actor who plays him, who also played Straight.
There is a moment in that movie that you will love.
You will
It was the best thing I've ever seen.
It's just, it was such a good, like, overall, out of all the movies, coming from Iron Man 3 to this was not hype at all for that movie. Sorry, Ricky.
I tell you what, I'm hyped for fucking Galactic Guardians of the Galaxy.
You need to go see this movie. Go watch the movie.
I already am assuming that the end credits have something to do with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Just go watch the movie.
I'm not telling you.
Just watch
I'm not
it.
telling you.
God dang it, you guys. You're making me have to watch it, like, right now.
We invited you last night.
We
You did
invited
too.
you.
Hunter didn't want anything to do with us. He had a girlfriend and a life.
You know, sometimes getting laid is more important.
I'm sorry, but Pussy Boy.
No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't getting laid.
You were watching the Pacer game.
I was watching the Pacers, who are 7-0, baby. Pacers are kicking some major ass. All right.
You know,
Anyways,
tonight the Colts.
Not should not be walking, so walking dead, but I'm just a talking head, a zombie floating. But I got your mom deep. I'm out my ramen noodle. We have nothing in common. Poodle, I'm a Doberman. Pinch yourself in the arm and pay homage to it's me.
Hello and welcome to episode 19 of Dial H For Heroclix. I'm your host, Hunter Smith, and with me today is Austin, and you asked for it, so we provided it. Drew is once again dead.
Yep. Swagnito specifically requested that his fear of Drew, I don't know exactly. He just said he was terrified of Drew being the wild card for the dial design, so we made him disappear for you, buddy. And I got Drew's chair this week, so I got the comfortable chair.
We're recording 2 days pieces on your team and try out more pieces and stuff, so that's why we usually run 400. But anywho, well, I'm glad it was fun. Who won and what were they playing?
I don't actually remember. I'm probably not the person to ask because I never remember this stuff. There was no. There was no. Hey Austin, why don't you?
Drew was pretty easy to bump off, so you better watch it back. I could drag out the old Necromicon and bring Drew back.
No, we're not doing it. Drew's staying dead. I like his chair too much.
We can replace.
I'm tired of that damn wooden chair, Hunter.
Let's move. So we talked about it a little bit last week when we got an email.
And I was being pretty nice about it. And now I want to flip your desk. Invincible Iron Man's collation is Super Booster collation. You get one prime or one chase per brick. Not one of each, one or the other per brick. Which normally is reserved for 8 booster sets. So this is a 10 booster set like Spider-Man. And they're counting, I guess, the rings as almost a super booster since it's an extra add-on thing. But basically they're collating.
I'll tell you what they're counting, Austin. They're counting our money in their pockets.
Exactly what
That's what they're counting.
All I know is when I saw the collation, I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to buy any of this set.
I don't know why, but I kind of dread Drew Week. It doesn't make much sense considering the last one was the symbiote plus anything scenario, and that was one of my favorite best submissions. But I just think that he's that wild card. Who knows what he'll throw at us?
Well, it's a good thing it's not a Drew Week.
You don't have to worry about it, Swagnito, because I killed him. I took care of that for you. You know, I figured you've been a loyal listener. I could do you a solid and take out one of my best friends. No, Drew did give us his assignment beyond the grave. It was in his will.
Sucks to be you, buddy.
It was in his living will. He left it, his family some things, and then he said, Hunter, I want my dial design week 3 to be any DC villain in celebration of DC Villains Month and Forever Evil.
There were like 72 pages of expletive.
There were other boring things like Hunter killed me, and you can find the evidence.
If you find my body dead, it was Hunter and Austin. They want my possessions.
But the most important note was any DC villain, and he made like. And we're going to put the stigma on it like I did for our event. Hello and welcome to episode 20 of Dial H For Heroclix. I'm your host, Hunter Smith. Today I have with me my good friend, Austin Smith. And back again from the dead, Drew Alderson.
We had to make a few deals with Mephisto to pull this one off.
I'm back, bitches! He's so passionate about Mage Knight, the grave couldn't hold him. Can't hold me! It was pretty much anything goes, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Silver Age, resources, anything goes. What'd you run, Austin?
I ran the Serpent, son. I ran the Serpent M10 Iron Man and Split Lip.
Do you have a soul?
No.
Sold it to Mephisto to get Drew back. Bringing it back! The ability to share, get other abilities from other characters on your team for free each turn. You're getting to change it each turn.
Hey,
that's
Hunter,
pretty cool.
There's a certain golden pterodactyl-looking dude that has hypersonic. I think you might want to jack from.
Ooh, let's see if he had.
I think he has mystical.
Any of that? That was old Gold Dick.
He does have mystical, I think.
Old Gold Dick's got that mystical keyword. We'll give this hoe hypersonic. We'll give her energy explosion, a free incap. We'll give her prop control.
And give her energy shield.
Give her whatever she needs. Yeah,
Gold Dick's always gives his women what he needs. What they need.
Yes.
True facts.
Like we say on this podcast. This is the only chase in the set. You get one chase per CTD. which we'll go over when we do distribution.
That is a yellow-ass dial.
What you talk about this clear, sexy son of a bitch?
Okay, it's Raiden Mars. There's actually a version of him in the starter set, General Mars. So you can play him either way. I think he's dead in this.
Yeah, that's the ghost form of him.
He's got improved targeting, ignores friendly characters, which in this set I can't tell you how important that is.
And sharpshooter, so technically he ignores all characters on one
Yes,
side.
he ignores all characters.
He's a ghost, damn it.
He's a ghost, he don't need it.
That's amazing.
He's Mars, the non-friendly ghost.
That's right. His epic action is give him an epic action until your next turn. No die may be rerolled and no attack can be evaded.
Screw you, Council of the Mist.
Hey!
Dude, I would run that in a Silver Age game. I mean, like, he's expensive to rely on for
Yeah,
that.
he's very expensive in that, but you're right. Okay, his trait, he can use Empower, Enhancement, Outwit, Perplex, and Probability Control.
You want fries with that?
I would say pronounced and a little exaggerated, but it's not weird. Like, it's kind of like comic book style, where, like, characters have huge gauntlets and giant shoulder pads. Like, I love that style. Like, they did a great job with a lot of these figures. And then the transparent pieces are gorgeous.
I mean, there were a ton of pieces where I pulled it out, and Drew was playing a game, and I just had to show him.
You interrupted that.
I was like, Drew, look at the detail on this goddamn werewolf.
And I was like, I want to open my case now.
Look at the sword and the flag that the general guy...
Volcare is probably my favorite sculpt.
Like, yeah, as I was opening it, I was like, this sculpt's so badass, it can't get any better than this.
This has to be the chase.
And then
I remember that.
3 packs later, I'd open one and be like, this thing look at this freaking badass dragon. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Then two packs later, I'd find something that looks even cooler than that.
I think overall...
Even the generics look good. Go look at the skeleton. He looks amazing.
The amount of detail on these guys is really good for the amount of detail on these tiny of pieces.
Look at him. Look at him.
That's a better sculpt than any main Marvel DC.
These little Chinese kids are getting great at painting stuff.
I know, their little fingers just get so much detail into the little bitty tiny
that's
little
what we're paying $5 a booster for.
They must have made it a raise or something.
And stuff, Cyclops has my vote.
That's a good little statement there, Austin Smith. Adding some very contributing to the conversation.
Yes, sir.
For once. So
For once.
It only took him 20 episodes.
I'm
gonna shove this Scarlet
Can you
Witch
guys believe
further.
we're 20 episodes?
Dear God, no we're not.
Like, when we first started the first week, I think I was like counting every listen we had, and we got 100. And I was like, guess what, boys? We got 100 listens. And now it's like day one, I upload like 700 listens. I'm like, holy! And that's just on Podbean.
And it's great. I mean, like, honestly, I feel like if we didn't get the reception we got, I don't think we probably would have stayed in past, like, I don't know. It's fun, but, like, what episode do you think we made it to if we were only getting, like, 50 listeners a week?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we kind of sit and talk about this stuff anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's not really like
It's just like, yeah.
And it only takes like 2 hours out of our day, and it's fun. But anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to stop halfway.
GSP. Yes. First game was really slow because I was going up against War Machine Prime from Invincible Iron Man.
I had to play him in sealed. He's such a dick.
And he just hits you and then punches you straight in the balls and then runs away. And he's like, "What you gonna do about it?" So what I started doing was I'd make sure he tried to do it. I'd barrier him in MODOK.
I just picture Rhodey doing that. It's so much funnier.
I'd barrier in MODOK with Aim Renegade. And if you haven't played Aim Renegade, he's
stupid.
35 points net you enhance and barrier.
And Hydra TA.
Hydra.
And Hydra TA.
And then later support.
And
then that's the agent.
He finds his way out of teams.
He gets outwit.
He gets outwit once you push him once, which I use tactically, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking god.
And I know what's going on the quote show now.
Anyway.
That was Drew speak again.
Yeah.
So what's the general strategy? Same room without trying to literally kill each other is is just awesome.
Yeah.
The Skrull Warlord. I didn't know anything about that Super Skrull.
Oh my gosh, how can you not?
Because I just started reading
Did you not even play Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
I did, but I didn't know that was him. He's been probably my favorite character in Infinity so far, or one of them. Like, he's just been so badass.
You know who you're the leader of? The Scrubs. You're Super Scrubs. That's who you are.
Hello and welcome to episode 22 of Dial H For Heroclix. I'm your host, Hunter Smith. With me today is just Austin.
We decided to kill Drew off by request.
Let's send him on a sabbatical this time. We don't have to go all out and kill him every time he's gone.
The world needs to know that because he called Scott out for cheating.
It's true, we did have a special request from Scott that we killed Drew.
It is true, and that's why he's dead this week. I don't know, I guess you weren't in on that, but...
We're recording a couple days late. I was best man in a wedding in Kentucky this weekend. And it was a pretty eventful weekend. Actually, I don't even think I told you all that happened. So, Ashley and I were the best man and the maid of honor.
They were going to say you're both
and
best men.
we ended up doing about 95% of the work of the entire wedding. Because they were ill-prepared, and knowing Jeremy, that's just how it is. So, anyways, I was in charge of the reception. Did it all myself. The prep, put every table and chair out, did all the decorations by hand, like Ashley showed me how to do it. I spent all day cooking, getting it set up. The whole time everybody was at the reception, I was just cooking and cleaning. Well, there was a keg, and Jeremy and I had brought 10 cases of beer and some hard liquor and stuff, too. And there weren't really that many people there to be drinking all this alcohol, so the people that were there were just totally shit-faced. And there was a guy who came with the DJ, who was drunk and probably high on something else, honestly, the way he was acting. Well, I wasn't there at the time that the first time it happened, but apparently he was causing some trouble, just typical drunk, annoying, butthole trouble.
Oh, of course.
With a couple of guys, but nothing major. Then I come back and I get told about it, and I'm keeping an eye on him. But I'm just still going about my business. Well, apparently a few minutes later, he said something a little unnecessary and racist to a black guy who happens to be a very close friend and a relative of Jeremy's.
Oh, no.
And all hell broke loose. I tried to run around the outside of the building and catch up before the fight happened. I did succeed in that. However, I basically came through the door right in the middle of the fight, dodging punches. So I was like, everybody calm down. If the cops get called, anybody who's been drinking and fighting instantly gets arrested. That's how they do it down there. So I was like, I haven't been drinking that much, and I'm always looking for an excuse to beat somebody's ass. I was like, let me do the fighting and let me do the kicking out. Everybody chill the hell out. So I grabbed the dude by the shirt, asked him to leave. He doesn't give me much argument. He's like, okay, dude, okay. So he leaves. He's wasted, though. He can't just drive home.
Yeah.
So he goes and sits in the DJ people's van, right? So fast forward about an hour, the dude's still sitting in the van. He's cool. That problem's resolved, right? As I said, everybody is plastered. One of the relatives of the bride and his fiance have an altercation, an argument, in the middle of the dance floor, and she slaps the ever-loving piss out of him. I'm talking, this is the biggest slap I've ever seen in my life. His face was immediately bruised, like a big black purple handprint on his face.
Damn, son.
So, within the bride's family, who are kind of white trash, within her family, there's this giant fight. And I'm not talking argument. I'm talking fight. And, punches are about to be thrown between the mom and the dad. The mom and the dad are fighting. And the bride, who's kind of drunk herself, kind of jumps in the middle of it, this is my wedding, you guys are acting stupid, blah, blah, blah. She almost gets hit. At one point, I'm holding the bride in one arm and, pulling her away from punches being thrown. I kick her dad in the stomach and, kicking back and pushing back from everything that's going on. I'm like, you guys, I was like, that's it, party's over, everybody leave. And I just start throwing people out. So when the whole fight goes down, the DJs are like, fuck it, we're getting out of here. So they start packing up their stuff. But when they start packing up their stuff, the dude who was sitting in the van comes in and helps them. I was watching him. out of the corner of my eye while I'm breaking this fight, like making sure he doesn't start anything. He just walked in, grabbed his stuff, helping them pack up, leave. Well, the bride saw him walk in, is like, what the hell are you doing back in here, blah, 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 calls attention to him, and then everybody, like, starts getting on him, and I'm, like, grabbing him, like, rushing him out the door. I'm like, all you guys just need to go home. So it was a fun, eventful weekend for me.
I was about to say, it sounds about what I'd imagine a Kentucky wedding would be like.
You know, the sad thing is I can't argue with you because, I mean, I just told you. In other news, the first episode of The Quarry is up, which is the ROC podcast that Edward and I will be on. The first episode is only 15 minutes long. It's just a short interview with Howard Brock, who is the creator of ROC, basically the guy running everything. And there's some good information in there and some good insight. And like I said, it's only 15 minutes. It's on the front page of HC Realms if you guys want to check it out. So basically, the typical weekly podcasts are just going to be a few minutes like that. And they'll be kind of Edward doing interviews and short little podcasts. And then after big events, like the one that was this past week, so coming up very soon, there will be the kind of round table with me and Edward and some of the guys and be talking about the results of the major tournament and what we, talking about the state of the meta and what we expect to see and what Shog, just kind of the whole 9 yards. It'll be kind of like a roundtable discussion.
I'm expecting a zombie meta team.
So
which one of you guys is going to be the Charles Barkley?
So there's a reason we don't have Austin on the podcast. To be like, yeah, I heard everybody should be pushing this new zombie meta. No.
And then Hunter would be like, that's terrible. That's terrible, terrible, terrible.
I want to say I'm the Charles Barkley because even though I'm... Okay, here's the thing about Charles. Charles is one of the best basketball players of all time, no question. I mean, for anybody who's studied the game, especially...
He was on Space Jam, Hunter.
Especially one of the best defensive players of the game. But he's not articulate.
Really?
And he kind of knows his stuff, but he kind of doesn't. He's smart, but he doesn't really seem that smart, when you hear him talk. And so I feel like that's how Charles... Like, I'm a good player, but I don't always come across as intelligent as I probably am. So I feel like I'd be a good Charles Barkley.
That's terrible. You're terrible.
So I'll be sure to sneak in the word terrible here and there, just so you guys kind of get the inside joke for our podcast, and you'll think it's hilarious. They probably will not catch it, or
they'll start getting on you about it and be like, you gotta stop saying that, buddy. This is insulting.
So we'll see how it goes. But for now, check out episode 1. And
guess who's back? Back again. Drew is back. Tell a friend. Austin's not, because he's dead. Austin's not.
Hello and welcome to episode 23 of Dial H For Heroclix. I'm your host, Hunter Smith, and with me today is just Drew Alderson.
Hey, what's up?
We could not get Austin off his lazy fat ass to come in here and do a podcast with us.
Yeah, we couldn't.
I mean, what does that say about Austin?
I don't know. Sounds like he's a terrible person.
Yada, yada, yada. I wish this was 4 rounds, because both the team, Philbo's team and Ricky's team would have been freaking easy pickings for Iron Man, because Ricky's team, one energy explosion would have waxed the whole fucking Void would have been, her whole posse would have gotten wiped out in one hit.
Did you just say posse?
I said posse, P-O-S-S-E. Now let's call Austin. We'll see how this goes. He's probably sleeping, lazy son of a bitch. We'll call Austin and we're going to see if we can try to trick him into basically doing what we played with us, telling us how we're going to try to keep it, like, not obvious, though. Let's see. We'll see if he even picks up the phone. Let's put him on speaker here. What should I say to make it sound like...
No.
Yellow.
Did you just say YOLO?
Yellow. Am I on the podcast now?
No.
Oh.
We're sitting here we're eating pizza with Ashley and Drew. We're going to just talk about how the dugout went since you didn't show up.
Okay.
So
Where did it go?
are you supposedly sick?
Yeah, I turned my phone this morning.
You did what this morning?
You heard me.
So, Drew won today.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Congratulations to the Drewster.
3-0. He beat me and Ricky both, and Terrence, I think, in the last round. It was crazy. The dude was on fire. And guess what else? We don't have any Phoenix Force resource styles for you.
That's fine. I'll just pick up 2 on Wednesday.
We had 20 people show up, dude. It was nuts.
Seriously?
Yeah. We had like 5 people from GP. We had John and Vernon come down from Anderson. I can't remember how far it's pretty good distance. And then and then our regular crew. So there was a ton of people there. What was I going to ask you? Oh, well, who did you play in ROC in your matches?
I played against Jairus first round, then Strax, and Drew.
So what happened that Jairus all of a sudden just waxed, like, it was funny, Drew, because I was sitting next to Austin first round, and I turned and I'm like, oh, Austin's got this. His team is so broken, it kicked my team's ass last night. And then I turned my head and Austin puts the duo off the field and onto its card, and I'm like, the fuck? It's like turn 1. Like, what just happened? How did the duo go down so fast?
Basically, I set up my team, and I forgot to drop a press drop blacklight ring before I did anything. So I was not in still. I was kind of letting him go first so he could move up and give me an opportunity to TK out and blast him. I pressed the blacklight ring, put down my stealth for my figures, and so he TK'd Prime out, gave the Pinsai ring to the Prime, TK'd it out, double power action, did shot for like 6 and 5 or something like that.
Jesus.
It was bad. Yeah.
Who'd you say you played second?
Strack.
Who?
It was bad luck on my part.
What?
He was running the Superboy Prime and that might.
See, I don't understand how you had so much trouble with that team when I just beat the shit out of it. Like, and I guess, I don't know.
He hit improv rolls and I didn't, is what it came down to.
Well, why didn't you drop Flame Blast?
What?
Why didn't you drop Flame Blast?
I tried to. The problem I had was, when I was dropping my rings, I had to drop defensive rings and stuff like that to try to slow them down a little bit.
Oh.
But basically, he came up and he smacked me for 8 right off the bat. I missed him, improv, dropped down onto the full move, super strength perplex. I can't remember what I took then. I did something. I dropped a different ring and consumed the ring. It was just a mess. He beat me in like 3 turns.
Yeah.
And then Scarlet Witch almost finished him off, but wasn't enough.
I know, I was just telling Drew how freaking retardedly good that Scarlet Witch is. Like, before we started Wednesday, I was like, this piece looks pretty good. And then after we were done, I was like, I'm going to play this piece, like, all the freaking time now, because this thing is broken.
Yeah, anytime I built an Avengers team, now she's on it. I sat there and I was looking at it on Realms earlier, and I was like, well, gee, I wonder what I would have played had I gone today. And I was looking at my team possibilities, I'm like, man, there's so many of them. All of them have that 100-point switch as much fun.
I played the X-Men, and I thought I was going to get my ass kicked, and I ended up going 3-0. That Magneto is a lot better than I gave him credit for. That Colossus is really nuts. I forgot that the Magneto gets free TK at one point, free Force Blast and TK at another point in the traded energy shield. There's a lot of hindering on those maps.
You just totally contradicted yourself and gave away.
So I just kept...
And I didn't win, by the way.
So I just kept putting myself in hindering. And, like, basically, Magneto was always at 20 defense from range, so it was pretty nuts.
Well, hey, Drew, had you not said that, I would have been like, oh, well, because I'm pretty sure there could be multiple 3-0s.
Oh, there was 3 3-0s, I think. Yeah, there was 3 3-0s. Drew, and then me, and then Mike.
Shut up.
I think Mike was 3-0 too.
You said I beat you, Ricky, and Terrence.
You did.
And you went 3-0.
We drew. No, Drew didn't win. Drew went 1-2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-2.
You're pitiful.
And
Oh no, you know what's pitiful? Not showing up at all. So don't give me that.
Drew had some bad rolls, and he's having this. He said this is the worst clicks week of his life.
It probably is.
So, Austin, let me ask you a question.
Is it going to involve me saying hi to all the podcast listeners? Because I'm pretty sure, given the tone and all our discussion here.
No, it's not. We're at the kitchen table.
I'm calling bullcrap.
So, Austin, what comics you been reading here lately? Austin, what are your thoughts on the new Lex Luthor that just got spoiled this week? And also, if you had to give a tip, if you had to give a tip of advice to a said group of people who may or may not be listening, what advice would you give to that group of people to improve their game?
The only advice I'd give is don't trust Hunter because it's pretty obvious he's really bad at lying. But,
this moment in time, it will do this, 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 and this. You would, even though the token's here, you have to draw a line of fire to the Silver Centurion. You know what I mean? Like pieces that have a lot of questions like that. We'll do reader requests. If you want to comment on the videos and say, hey, I would love for you to do one on X piece.
Just feel free.
We'll do it for that.
Yes, we will.
I think that's a great idea.
I think it's an amazing idea.
And actually, a listener gave us that idea, and I cannot remember for the life of me who it was.
Well, he's a genius.
That guy's a genius.
Yeah, I like you, whoever you are.
I will find his name on.
We're gonna find you.
The past episode. So
we're gonna find you and shake your hand.
Thanks for tuning in with us this week. We will absolutely require Austin to be on the podcast next week.
It's not voluntary. It's mandatory.
This is an optional.
It is.
We're like a gang.
We are like a gang.
You know, when you join this gang,
you can't bitch out.
There's no way to back out. There's the grave.
There's the grave.
There's no door. There's just the
grave.
I
was making money. That's why I was on. Austin's at home.
Probably playing Pokemon.
Probably. Imagine that.
Playing some computer game.
We're going to get another email about how we ate Austin.
Who cares?
We don't care.
Anyways, thanks for joining us.
Done by our in-house Dial H For Heroclix orchestra. Let's have a hand for them, guys.
I hate to admit it, but we'll now have no further podcasts in 2014. I spent all our budget on the orchestra. And all three of us went 2-1, but and we were all pretty close in points. But Austin actually got first. Out of the three of us. So
Pupil
Austin,
Surfer, after losing for you, I think twice now, I finally won one for you, buddy.
Austin won his first best build. We can't tease him anymore, Drew.
I won one for him first, Austin.
Shut up.
Drew will always be his first.
Yep.
How does that make you feel?
I got sloppy seconds.
Damn straight you did.
And then you give him Steel Energy, and the mother freaker does not die. It doesn't happen.
Yep.
So if you throw those two and then Book Lip, you're at 208. So you have 92 points to throw on whatever else you need. I think you're going to see variations of that. You're going to see Lizard, Alyosha, and Split Lip plus Book, and then fill out the rest of it with 92 points. Austin, Sauron,
I thought he could fit.
He's fucking garbage. Sauron sucks.
For 92 points?
He sucks.
Yes.
He's 98 points and he sucks.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought he was 92.
I was like, Sauron?
Sauron instead of playing
I'm not
Vampire
saying
Jubilee and two vampires? Or
why would that go on Alyosha, though?
Why not?
Why not?
Because they don't get free attacks from Alyosha.
You're not using them on him. You're using the free attacks on the Lizard.
Oh, yeah, true. And that you can still do it if he has 2 tokens anyway. What am I thinking?
But anyways, we
I was just looking at Sauron.
That's all right. That's all right. You kept being very. What's the word I'm looking for, Drew?
I don't even know.
Drew's lost it. So let's just move on. So
hashtag fuck Sauron.
working on those rules videos. But I really think those rules videos will be really popular, and I hope people enjoy them.
So, Hunter, if we had to wish our our viewers, listeners, a Merry something, what would it be?
Clicksmith, obviously.
Xmas?
There you go. Merry Xmas.
Do we have to? Fuck it. We're saying Christmas. God dang it.
We're breaking the mold.
Screw this Xmas, Happy Holidays bullcrap. Merry Christmas to you guys, and we'll see you next week right before.
Hell yeah.
And Drew and I are going to Denny's.
Alright guys, you're back live with Hunter again. And as I said at the top of the show, we're not going to do a full episode and cover all of the segments that we usually cover, like news and just the tip and what we played and things like that. But I do want to do the community section today, mainly because both of our contests for December wrapped up this past week. And we already talked about best build on the last episode. The winner was Pupil Surfer, and I've contacted him and seen what he would like me to make for his prize. And but just again, congratulations to him. He's a continuous contributor to Best Build, and he always builds good teams and gives good info on how he'd like them to play. And then the guys keep picking his teams. So if you guys are wondering why your teams don't get picked, one good tip I could give is look at his submissions and look at the fact that he always gives ideas on how to play the team and the general strategy and like what map to use and things like that. And like we always say, those kinds of things make it more likely for us to pick your team. It also shows us that there is some thought behind it and that there is some synergy there. Moving on to dial design, we had an extremely close month. I'm pretty sure this is the closest month we've ever had. We came into this last week with Swagnito like 1 point ahead of like three other people. Three other people I think were like 1 point behind him, and then a couple people were like 2 or 3 points behind. And we had an extremely close race. And Swagnito ended up taking the total. He won the entire month by 1 point. There were like 3 or 4 people only 1 point behind him at the end. There were like 5 people or 6 or 7 people within like 5 points of his score, and it was really close. The top two, so congratulations to him for winning not only the first person to ever win more than one of our dial design contests. He's now a 2-time winner, but he also won 2 straight. So congratulations to him. Our featured dial this week, actually, though, I want to talk about the dial that Ken the Red submitted. And the assignment this past week was for alter egos. And he submitted John Jones and an alter ego into Martian Manhunter. And this was my favorite submission this week. This one and Batarangs dials tied for first, but I wanted to do Ken the Reds as our feature dial, mainly because we've done Batarangs a few times before, and we haven't done one of Ken's before. And this was my personal favorite this week. Basically, these dials are far better than any Martian Manhunter that WizKids has so far made, and I just really enjoyed these dials. If you guys want to check out and see what I'm talking about, you can go to the thread. We'll link it in the comment section on this podcast. But John Jones, the cheaper version, he has the police team ability, 6 range, and 76 points, similar to the John Jones that's in the DC 10th Anniversary set. And he has some stealth and perplex, stealth and outwit at the beginning, and then he gets his alter ego clicks, and he has shape change. And he has the typical alter ego, give a power action, turn him into Martian Manhunter. But he also has an attack power right on his third click, and it's a stop click. And then if he rolls a 3 or 4 for shape change, then you get to replace him basically as a free action. But you have to carry over any tokens that were already on it and anything else. So they have to attack Martian Manhunter with that attack. And then the Martian Manhunter has 3 different point abilities, 325, 200, and 76. So it really kind of shows you the variation of Martian Manhunter in the DC universe. The fact that honestly, a lot of people don't realize, but at peak performance, he can keep up with or even outdo Superman as far as power. And so he has a 325 point option that starts with a 12 running shot, 13 psychic blast, and 19 with the special defense power of impervious and super senses. And the things I really, really like about his Martian Manhunter, though, are the two traits. One of them being super strength and shape change, but the coolest thing being when he's not holding an object or using carry, he has improved movement, ignores characters, and blocking. So basically it lets him phase, but Ken the Red is realizing that if Martian Manhunter was carrying someone with him, he wouldn't be able to phase them through what he is phasing through. It's not like Kitty Pryde in X-Men. And so he can only phase through if he is not holding or carrying. And then his other trait that he does not get on his alter ego, he only gets it on his higher point options, where he cannot be mind controlled. And when he has 0 or 1 action tokens, he can use Perplex to target any other character within range, but doesn't need line of fire. And that symbolizes that he's a telepath, and as such wouldn't need to actually be able to see the person. He could kind of feel it in his mind. And he also has a lot of clicks a couple clicks where he has hypersonic in conjunction with a special attack power that lets you do something that hypersonic typically can't do. It gives him mind control as a ranged combat attack, and he isn't dealt unavoidable damage from the mind control. And the reason that's important is because when you use hypersonic, as you guys know, you only get an attack, you don't get an action. So by doing this, he's effectively given Martian Manhunter a hypersonic mind control that, as far as I know, no other clicks has, and is actually a really cool idea and really symbolic of Martian Manhunter himself. So I thought that was really great. And overall, just a great, well-paced Dial, very representative Dial, and it was just my personal favorite this week. Not the Batarangs wasn't excellent as well. But it's getting harder and harder to grade these Dial design contests. You guys are just getting better and better every month, and we're having to work to force ourselves to really give some of you guys worse scores maybe than you deserve, just so that we can get some kind of, we're kind of splitting hairs to try to separate these scores and not have everybody be tied for first and second and third. So kudos to you guys at getting better each week, and we love seeing new guys chip in and join in the fun every month. And we appreciate you guys hanging out with us on the forums and talking to us about comics and whatnot. But congratulations to Swagnito and Pupil Surfer, the two winners of our contest in December. And of course, next week it'll be the first week of January, and we will start new versions of both Best Build and Dial Design. So I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast today. I know it wasn't your typical podcast that you get, but I wanted to kind of give you guys something special as we wrap up this year. And I speak for the whole cast whenever I wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll see you in January 2014.